Welcome to day 5 of Nomad and Wandergirl 2025, Japan with a sprinkle of Taipei. Today is day 5, our last day in Taipei. Later tonight, we'll be leaving for Naha, Okinawa. Um, and let us tell you what happened in the last 24 hours. What did you study, Wandergirl?
I wanted to explore a region that it's about an hour from the central Taipei called Beitou. It's known for hot springs, and I love onsen. I love hot springs, so that was one thing I wanted to explore. But I also wanted to explore the river Tamsui that runs through Taipei, and it's the third longest river in Taiwan. So I just walked over, and as I approached the river, uh, the breeze felt refreshing, and then there was a sound of saxophone. There was a man by the river having a setup, and he was just chilling and playing saxophone. So I just sat next to him and watched the river, listened to his music, which wasn't perfect, but he was doing what he loved, and I appreciated it. I thanked him, and I took a bus to Beitou. The bus took about an hour, and it's this, I think the place deserves more appreciation for the hot springs. I think it was discovered or developed more during the Japanese colonial area. Um,
So is Beidou just outside of Taipei?
about an hour,
Okay.
yeah, about an hour, yeah. And it has a thermal valley, and it has a lot of hotels. Many of those hotels um, are from years ago. There was a period of depression. The little that I discovered about Beitou is during some time it was referred as a pleasure um, resort where a lot of men would gravitate to until about 1993 when the sex work was uh,
Prohibited?
prohibited. Yeah, yeah. Just a little bit about Beitou. It has radium springs, and it has scant amount of this radioactive element in water. And I
Ooh,
didn't know that it was radioactive.
that
And
would
it,
explain your glow.
yeah, and it has this turquoise hue. And the rocks in the thermal valley are unique. And I'm gonna look up. It's called Hakutolite. Hakutolite, because the Hakuto was originally the name of Beitou. It's the oldest bathing facility. It at some point it was military to a tourist hub, but also a pleasure hub. Um,
Interesting.
and my highlight was just walking and exploring, taking in all the sulfur, and I actually like the smell and the heat. And spent most of the day in a hot spring in a public bath where women congregate naked, comfortable with their body, just relaxing during the hot bath and the cold water and changing it up. There was a woman there that I called her a teacher, and I told her she's a good teacher because anybody that kind of didn't know what to do, for example, like before you immerse yourself in a hot in a bath in a pool, um, she told everybody to like pour hot water over your legs so your body kind of can get used to the heat, the temperature. One pool, it's about 43 degrees
Ooh,
Celsius,
it's pretty hot.
and the other one was 46. And you can really stay more than 3 to 5 minutes in a
It
pool.
reminds
Um,
me of Nobody Betsu when we went, right?
yeah.
Last year.
Yes, and speaking of, nobody speaks English, but with few words or sign language, you can have conversations. So there were two women from Japan, and they were curious where I'm from, and I told them about Noboribetsu, one of my favorite onsens in Japan, and they were like, "Oh, I never went," but they were visiting Taiwan for 3 days. I think for me, encounters with the strangers and that connection continues to be my highlight.
Interesting. Sounds like you had a very interesting day.
I did, but by the time I got to the back to our place, I was wiped. I was wiped.
So
Yeah.
that means it was a successful day. Me, on the other hand, so after Wandergirl had left for her adventures, since I was stuck with the suitcase, I checked out of our Triple T Tomato Hotel right at a time. So 11 o'clock, I checked out, and without actually using GPS, headed back to the A3 Hotel, which we booked for the last night because we love it so much. And shortly you'll find out why. So without using GPS, I found my way back to the hotel, taking my time, knowing full well that the check-in is until 4 o'clock. So I arrived at the front desk just around noon, and to my surprise, the gentleman told me that the room is ready. I can go and leave my bag in a room, which I was very, very ecstatic about. And I'm gonna roll a clip right now to show you what the room looks like. And I don't know if this video does the justice of how spacious, how clean, how well designed,
Creative.
creative the room, the layout is. But have a look. As soon as you enter the door, in the center you have a desk that's facing the wall that has a TV on, sort of separates it from the rest of the room, which has two queen-sized beds, and towards the back large window there's a bathtub being flanked by the washroom, toilet on one side, and a shower on the other side. Beautiful room. So once I left my bags there, both of my backpack and the suitcase, I decided to do the touristy thing, and I went to Taipei 101. Um, had to use the navigation this time around. Anyway, it was just a single bus that dropped me off right in front of the Taipei 101. Got myself a ticket, and there wasn't any lineups, and I headed upstairs to the 90th floor. Um, Beautiful view. I'll show you the view momentarily. Actually, as I speak, why don't you have a look to see what I saw through the window? Um, it's just beautiful, just to be there, soak it in, and look at the beauty of the city from high above, where you can see from the mountains the river that Wandergirl just described to all the corners of the city. You have a unobstructed view, 360-degree view, and it was a pretty clear day. So I spent about a good hour just kind of soaking it in. Took the elevator down. The elevator takes about, I'd say about 15 to 20 seconds, which is pretty fast. It moves about, actually I don't want to fool you how, I'll put it somewhere on the screen hopefully, how fast it moves, but it's pretty quick. It's comparable to, if not faster, to the one in CN Tower in Toronto. Right? I went downstairs, and there's a very posh mall with high-end boutique stores. It's about 5 stories. So I just kind of wandered around just to see if anybody's buying anything. People are window shopping. But anyway, beautiful mall. And then after that, there was one more itch I had to scratch, which was Taipei is known for their computers. And since I'm a bit of a computer,
Tempted.
was I tempted? I had my moments. There was a couple things that I was thinking of getting, but I did not, which I'm very happy about. So I went to this mall. There's two malls side by side, both of them just loaded with gadgets. Anything your heart desires, from modern computers to anything niche market, like you'll find it there. So it was pretty cool to be there, and probably spent about a couple hours there, and then I decided to head back to the room to meet Wandergirl as she was making her trek back. So yeah, it was a pretty eventful 24 hours. We ended up having a dinner in a local restaurant. It looks like a food court, straight out of one of the Chinese plazas in Toronto. If you know, you know. It's the exact same setup. So we ended up having some food. Wonder Girl had a seafood congee, if I'm not mistaken, and I had a dry noodle and beef with a woman made the noodles just as I ordered them, so I had to wait like 15-20 minutes, which was really, really good.
What are your takeaways?
But I'd like to be back. I think there's a lot more to explore. I really love the city, love the vibe. People are very, very nice, polite, very kind. With a smile, you can get far. Be curious and be friendly. What about you?
Slow travel. I think it's easy to get caught in that race of, especially if you do a little bit of research before traveling and you watch some of the videos, which many of them are, you know, well designed and very interesting and informative. But I think if there is this tendency, if you get tempted to try to do as much, for me, it does not allow me to immerse myself fully. So picking one thing that gets you curiosity, brings you joy, and it's not really about that one thing, but what you find on on that
Journey?
on
Yeah.
the journey. So just, you know, for me, being in that hot spring with uh, women, strangers, and there was this connection, and how you appreciate how different body sizes, shapes, ages. Women are just so beautiful, and I think that, you know, until you are in the places like that, you may see it in a way of like we have to look in a certain way and we have to be in a certain way, but in that place it's just so I don't
Free.
know,
Free. You can be
free.
yourself
Yeah,
by the sounds of it.
yeah. So slow travel. That's my takeaway.
And as always, represent. I still think 2025 was the year where Leafs had a chance to win the Stanley Cup. But on that note,
Over and out.
over and out.